In this video, I'm going to teach you how to use DataLab to do educational research. DataLab is put out by the National Center for Educational Statistics, and DataLab is a suite of tools that we're going to use PowerStats and do some research. And in order to use this and have access to the data, you have to have an account. So the first thing you need to do is make an account and log in, and then go to PowerStats. We're just going to start with a research question because I think walking you through how to answer this research question will help you become familiar with this data set. And we are going to first use beginning post-secondary students. And you see here in this pull-down menu, you've got different cohorts, and you can read about the methodology of who is in this data set. But what each of these are, this one here, the most recent one, this would be students who began for the first time. They entered in 2011-2012. And this data set follows them through the end of 2017. So this would be a 6-year data set. So we're going to use the 2012-2017 data set. That's the cohort. And we're going to launch. And now make sure if you're not logged in, it'll show that you're logged in up here. If you're not logged in, there won't be any data. It's free. So set up an account and get logged in. And now let's look at this research question, just to get us familiar with this data set. Does the percentage of students who graduate with a bachelor's degree within 6 years differ between students who started college in 2011-12 and were under 25 versus those who were 25 years or older when they entered? So the first thing you do, this pull-down menu, you choose your analysis type. And our research question has to do with percent distribution. We're going to compare percents. So that's what you want to choose, percentage distribution. And now we need to find the relevant variables for our research question. And I'm going to search on bachelor's degree because there are so many variables in this data set. These are degree attainment. And you might look around and see there's a lot of interesting variables in here. But I think we can use either one of these two. So let's look. The bar chart means it's a categorical, and continuous is the graph, the little graph icon. And if you want to see months elapsed, and that would be interesting, but that's not our research question. So let's take a look at the categorical, because we are interested, did they get a degree or not get a degree by June 2017? And if you want to click on descriptive statistics, you can get an idea as to how these are distributed here. So they are giving us information about whether they got their degree at the first institution or at some other institution versus didn't get a degree at all. So I think we can use this, and we're going to make this our column variable. And we don't care where they got their degree, so we don't really want to have these 3 categories. So over here, create your own custom categories. That's what we want. And add a category. See, you can't click that until you have checked the boxes of what you want to put in that category. So let's combine these two together, add a category, and then let's change its name to be degree. And now we want this, the no degree, to be our other category. So you have to check the box first and then give it a name, no degree. All right, so you see it's setting up a table here to show us what variables we've got and the attributes of those variables. So we've got degree and no degree, and you can give it a more meaningful name if you want, within 6 years or by June 2017. And we can change a bachelor's degree attainment at first institution through June 2017. That's the name of this variable, but we combined first institution and at any institution. So let's not keep this label. Bachelor's degree attainment by June 2017. It's just a good idea to not have things labeled in ways that will later confuse you. Okay, now we need our age groups. And one of these categories is student characteristics. And see how many different categories there are. Let's see, student characteristics. That's where the ages are. You could search on it, but the letter combination AGE is in a lot of words, and they'll all come up. And they have category or continuous. Let's take a look at categorical and see if it will work for us. This is going to go in the row. And now they have set up these categories. And if you're using the categorical variable, you can combine categories to create a new category, but you can't change, and we can't make this 15 to 24, which is the way our research question is written. So we want to go look at the continuous. This would work for us if our research question had stopped at 23 and asked about people who entered when they were 24 or older, but our categories don't match this. So let's close this and get the continuous. Let's just take a look. The mean age is 20 when they start. Minimum is 15. Wow, it's probably somebody in early college. So let's go here, and this is going to be our row variable. And it's got these categories set up, but we are going to customize our categories to match our research question. So we're going to add a category, and they tell us over here on the side the minimum value is 15 and the maximum is 75. So we want to go from age 15 to 24, and then 25 to 75. And we can change these labels if we want. Let's say under 25, so it clearly matches our research question. And this is 25 and older. And then save it. So this is the way our table is going to be set up. That's the data that we're going to use. This is their age as of December 31st, 2011. And then up here, you hit run. And it's going to ask you if you want to use the recommended weight, and you do. It's going to weight these so the distributions of the groups are more representative of the general population. And then that's how long it took. And you see the results here. And we've got a pull-down menu where you can get your standard errors and your estimates. And this gives you the ends, which you'll want the ends if you're reporting this. If you're doing research, you need to know what your ends are. And you can get your confidence intervals here. So our results, looking at the confidence intervals, 6.5% of the people who started when they were 25 years old or older had a bachelor's degree by the end of 6 years later, where 40.8% of the under 25 did. And we want to know that definitely there's a difference, but is it statistically significant? My guess is it's going to be, but you can't guess. You never know. So let's do a t-test and see up here on the menu. On this screen, you've got a t-test. So click on that, and then see now these are clickable. Estimate 1, estimate 2, we want to compare these two things and do a t-test. And click calculate. There's your t, and the p-value is so small that it doesn't show up in this many decimal points. Now, see these other icons up here? You can graph your results. You can change the weights, which you don't want to do unless you know how. You can save it. You can download it. It comes down into an Excel spreadsheet. You can share it with somebody. So how might you write this up? I will not read this to you because you can pause it and read it yourself. And here's how you might write up these results.